Brawl Stars is simple. Each brawler belongs to one of these classes, and today we're gonna analyze all of them and see which brawlers are the best to max out for each one. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more guides like this. It really helps a ton, guys. Okay, let's start with the really fun category. Tanks are really impactful in the game if you play them right. Their best matchups are low DPS brawlers like snipers, throwers, controllers, and some low DPS support brawlers, and their worst ones are high DPS brawlers like anti-tanks and damage dealers. Tanks are also really strong in maps with a lot of walls and bushes to take cover, hide, and surprise the enemy. But the best tank that you should definitely max out right now is Ollie. Ollie was a strong pick before, but he instantly became one of the best brawlers in the game when his hypercharge got released. You should primarily pick him in more passive modes like knockout and bounty, but he's at the top of the meta right now, so he can be played in any mode except heist. But I know what you're thinking. Ollie's a mythic brawler, and you might have not unlocked him yet, but don't worry. I'm also mentioning the best low rarity brawlers for each category at the end, so stay with me. Moving on to the category that counters tanks the best. Anti-tanks can deal a lot of damage, but they also have their weaknesses. Their best matchups are high HP brawlers with short range like tanks and assassins, and their worst ones are controllers because they outrange them. Snipers and throwers can also counter them, but the map has to be in their favor. But you should also be aware that not all anti-tanks can defend that well against assassins. For example, brawlers like B can deal a lot of damage, but they're squishy. Anti-tanks are primarily strong in maps with a lot of walls and bushes because those are the ones where tanks and assassins are played the most. But the best anti-tank that you should definitely max out right now is Cordelius. Cord is classified as an assassin, but he's primarily used as a brawler that can deal a lot of damage and counter those high HP brawlers. But his biggest advantage is that he's really versatile. So brawlers that typically counter anti-tanks like throwers and controllers can't deal with him that well because of his jump gadget and his super. He's also an assassin after all. Cord is meta right now, so you can use him in any mode, but his best ones are Brawl Ball and Gem Grab, and he's also an excellent defender and heist. Definitely worth investing in. Next up we have the heist category. Damage dealers are basically a subcategory of anti-tanks, and as the name suggests, they can deal a lot of damage. But not all of them can deal with those high HP brawlers, for example Chuck, so they're primarily used to deal damage to something else, for example a heist save. Their best and worst matchups are the same with anti-tanks, so they generally counter tanks and assassins, and they get countered by controllers, snipers, and throwers. Damage dealers are also really strong in maps with some walls and bushes for them to take cover and push up the map to deal damage to the safe. But the best damage dealer they should definitely max out right now is Amber. The best thing about Amber is that while she might be a good pick in heist, she's also an excellent anti-tank and a good controller too if you use her super correctly. And the funny thing is that her best mode is not even heist. She's strong there too, but she also shines in hot zone and gem grab. Amber is solid overall and a really versatile pick for you to max out. Now our next class is the most used one in the entire game. Assassins can create chaos out of nowhere because of how unpredictable they can be. Their best matchups are the same with tanks, so low DPS brawlers like snipers, throwers, controllers, and low DPS support brawlers. But their worst ones are high DPS brawlers like anti-tanks and damage dealers, but also tanks this time, as most assassins don't have the damage or HP to compete with them. Assassins are also really strong in maps with a lot of walls to take cover, but not a lot of bushes because that's where they're facing their biggest counters. But the best assassin that you should definitely max out right now is Kit. A lot of people think that Kit is easy to play, but trust me, he's not. There are so many interactions that you need to know before going in to get kills, cycle your supers effectively, and stay alive for as long as possible to create pressure for your team. And once they nerf his hypercharge, he'll be even harder to play. Lucky for you though, I recently made a Kit guide too, so you can go ahead and watch it after this video. Overall, Kit is top tier right now, really worth maxing him out. Now the next class fell off. Personally, I enjoy playing with controllers, and that's because if you're a good player, you know that once you control the map, it's gonna be really hard for your opponents to push you back. Their best matchups are brawlers with shorter range but relatively low HP, so anti-tanks and damage dealers. But generally they don't have a lot of DPS up close, so their worst ones are tanks and assassins. And there are a lot of aggressive brawlers at the top of the meta right now, so that's the reason that controllers fell off. But they can also get countered by snipers and throwers depending on the map. Controllers shine in more open maps, but they also need some walls to take cover in case the enemy outranges them. But the best controller that you should definitely max out right now is Charlie. Charlie is a super versatile brawler, and she can also be used as an anti-tank in a lot of cases. But her main function was always to control the map with her constant yo-yo attacks, her spider's gadget, and her powerful cocoon. Her best mode is gem grab because when you super an enemy, they drop all their gems, but she's equally strong in hot zone and brawl ball. Overall, Charlie is definitely one of the best brawlers to max out for this meta. And now we have the more passive category, starting off with the brawlers that have the longest ranges in the game. Sniper's best matchups are shorter range brawlers like controllers, anti-tanks, and damage dealers, but they can also be combined with a wall breaker to break open the map and counter throwers. But they can't handle brawlers with high HP that like to get close and personal with them, so their worst ones are tanks and assassins. Be aware though that a sniper can counter another sniper, for example Nani against Piper. Also, if you don't combine them with a wall breaker, or if the map has unbreakable walls, throwers can counter them too. Snipers shine in wide open maps. The less obstacles a map has, the better for them, but the best sniper that you should definitely max out right now is Angelo. Angelo is by far the best sniper in the game since his release. His range is the same as Piper's, but he has so much more going on. Way more damage if you charge up your shots, a gadget that can help him escape, a piercing one to finish off kills behind walls, the ability to walk on water, and the ability to heal with his star power. His best modes are bounty and knockout, but he can also be played as a mid in open gem grab maps. Overall, Angelo is a must-have and he's an epic brawler too, so it's not that hard to unlock him. Next up, we have my personal favorite. Throwers are really strong in the right hand. Their best matchups are the same with snipers, so controllers, anti-tanks, and damage dealers, but they can also be used to counter snipers if the map has walls. But their worst ones are definitely assassins and tanks, as they cannot deal with their mobility and HP. They also get countered by wall breakers though, because they need their walls to survive. As you might have guessed by now, throwers are strong in maps with a lot of walls to hide behind them and shoot, but little to no bushes, because that's where assassins and tanks are played the most. But the best thrower that you should definitely max out right now is Juju. We're all waiting for Juju's hypercharge, and it's definitely gonna be a strong one too. But apart from that, Juju is the best thrower overall because of how versatile she is. You can play her in pretty much every mode if you have the right matchup. The best ones for her are Hot Zone, Bounty, and Knockout. Overall, you should think of Juju like an investment, especially with her new hypercharge coming out soon. And last, we have the weirdest category. All support brawlers belong to one of the other categories already. Some of them can heal you up, some others can give you speed or damage buffs, but a few of them are there to support your team in a different way, for example scout the enemy bushes as a crow or break open the map as a Brock. And that's why I'm not gonna analyze their best and worst matchups and their best maps. It always depends on what other category each support can be played as. For example, Poco is both a support and a controller, so the brawlers that counter him are the same as a normal controller. But the best support that you should definitely max out right now is Byron. I was actually hesitating on this one. Both Byron and Jaeyoung are really good, but in the end I decided to go with Byron. They can both deal a lot of damage and help out their team as well. And although you might argue that Jaeyoung is a better support overall, Byron has a longer range and he's more versatile. He's also a sniper, so you already know his best and worst matchups and his best maps. Byron is at the top of the meta right now, so he can be played in any mode, but his best ones are Hot Zone, Knockout, and Bounty. Honestly, if I had to max out one of all these brawlers, Byron would be him. And this is the final list. But for those of you who don't have a lot of these brawlers unlocked, this is a second list with the best low rarity brawlers to max out for each category. With these 8 brawlers in your arsenal, you'll be able to play in any ranked map and mode, and you'll win a lot more matches. Now, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 100k subs soon, so I need your help. But if you want to see how to think like a Masters player, check out this video too. And hopefully I'll see you there.